market outlook. We are about to check the chart and see what the market is offering us today. To start off, let's talk about gold. So on XAU USD, we can see that we have stopped out this on the higher time frames, which is the daily time frame. And right now, I'm interested in two highs at the moment, this high and this. So these two highs, one of them can go, but it depends on what price action would like to give us. So heading on to the 4 hour time frame, what we can see is that after price was tapped out that low to the left, we've seen it have this bullish price action, and I would like to see price reach these highs. I think it is this daily high. I would like to see price reach that daily high. So on the 4 hour, what we can see is that price has mitigated this zone to the left. We can see that we mitigated it with this candle. We saw this small sell-off and we've been buying ever since. Currently, price is selling, and I would like this low to hold. The low that caused this buyer. So on the 1 hour time frame, what I'm expecting price to do is that this low holds and we see a move to the upside with this as our target. But being realistic, I know that price is most likely to take out this low, but the direction would still stand strong. If this low goes, we'll just wait for price to open another entry for us to the look for longs to the highs. And that's it for Euro USD. So sorry, that's it for XAU USD. And on Euro USD, starting off with the weekly time frame. So on the weekly time frame, what we can see is that price has tapped out this low. We are expecting this low to the left, and we have this high to the left that we are also respecting, which is this high. So currently, after stopping out that low, we've seen price move to the highs. We have mitigated the zone, and we mitigated the zone and we've seen this sell-off. Currently, I'm looking for longs on Euro USD back to the highs. Maybe from here we can cause a break of structure, or maybe even go higher and cause a higher time frame break of structure before possibly seeing some shots to the lows. So that's my understanding of Euro USD currently. I would like to see more price action before I make a move I'll be really, really interested in. But that's what I'm expecting to happen on Euro USD. On GBP USD, starting with the weekly time frame. So on the weekly time frame, we can see that we have this move to the upside and we've seen the sell-off and we styled out to that low. This price action mitigated a zone, which is what I've drawn over here. And this is the low of the zone. Currently, this low is being respected by this price action. We can see that price is heading to the highs after we stopped out this low and respected this. So from there, we have the first break of structure, which we can see on the 4 hour time frame. We've had that first break of structure. We've seen a mitigation, we've seen a sell-off, and we've seen price move to the highs. Based on the higher time frame, I would like to see what GBP USD move to the highs. Currently, we've stopped out this low. It doesn't really mean that much, but if we see a buy move to the upside, if you get a chance to buy to the upside, I'll be buying GBP USD. But we also have to put this supply zone in mind that we could see price reverse from there in case we buy to the highs. This supply zone can cause a reversal before we see a long to the highs. So for GBP USD, just like Euro USD, I'm bullish. And if those pairs correlate, we are most likely to see what AD USD buy. AD USD, starting with the weekly time frame, what we can see happen is that after stopping out this high, we are drawn towards this low. So with us being drawn to this low, we like to see price action move to the downside. Currently, you can see that we have stabbed out this major low from the left. You can see we stabbed it out and we are ranging, or we've just started the week, so I don't want to call it a range, but we are seeing this kind of range on AD/USD. At the moment, we are expecting this low to the left, and after starving out this low, we have this highs low, which I would like to see get taken out, because the other pairs that AD/USD correlates with what are bullish. EUR/USD bullish, GBP/USD bullish. So from there, I would like to see what it go to the highs. But AD/USD is a tricky one. As you can see, after having this move, we've seen what price have a break of structure. Let's see around this point, and we can see that it is respecting the lows currently, building liquidity there. So AD/USD can have this happen to it, but it can also be a trap. So what I expect us to do is what, be patient, and let's see what the pair will provide for us. Maybe we can get a long move to the highs, a mitigation, then we see the real entry in line with what our higher time frame direction, then we can see the longs back to the highs. So that's what I'm also seeing on AD/USD with this as my target. If I move to USD CAD starting off with the weekly time frame, what I can see is that we have this high that we are respecting at the moment. We have this high we are expecting at the moment. That's causing us to what? Sell off. If we come to the daily time frame, what we can see is that, well, there's this zone we are expecting to the left, all the way to the left. I would not like to go all that far into price action to be very, very too much. So, but if we study the lower time frames like a 4 hour, you can see from that high we had what, the sell-off. We've seen a mitigation with this price action, and it has what, led to a move to the upside, trapping some sellers. So from there we induced buyers and we saw what, a sell-off. So we had this mitigation. So from this mitigation we've had it what, price almost took out this low. Remember, this low is not taken out. As you can see, we have what, 41692, and over here we have 41694. This side is higher than this side, so it's respecting it, and we've seen what, this move to the upside, causing what, this break of structure. So from there we like to see whether price what give us a chance to sell. So when we head on to the 15-minute time frame, what we can see is that we had this break of structure at the moment, and we like to see what price give us an entry. Currently we mitigated a zone to the left, and we've seen price what, move to the outside and trap some buyers, some sellers, possibly inducing what, buyers. I might be wrong with this, but the key is what, patience. You have to stay patient and see what happens. And from that possible inducement, we see price what, come back to this low. We have respected it, we move to the upside again. We've caused another what, break of structure. We are building liquidity at the lows. So I would like to see whether price is what, going to give me an entry around this zone to what, short back to the lows, because we are what, building liquidity. So this could be a possible short move back to the low on USD CAD. And on USD/JPY, starting off with the weekly time frame, what we can see is that these highs to the left are still not taken out. If we use our tool and place it at the side, we can see that what, this high is 161.952, but the high to our left is what, 161.950. So the high to our left is higher than it by 2 ticks. We would like to see that high what, go. Currently we can see that we've respected it, we've come down, we had this break of structure, and from there we've seen what this move to the upside. If we move to the lower time frames, you can see that what we've had this internal break of structure at this point, and we've seen this what move to the upside. So what I'm expecting to see is what maybe a sell-off. Then if price is going to reveal what it's going to do, we might take what a long entry back to the highs. But currently for USD I'm very uncertain, and I would like to see what the price represents. Then we take our trade in line with what what price action gives us. So that's it for the daily market outlook. Catch you tomorrow.